12 things that make bike life better. Bike Life with Rob. How many times in your life have you thought, how can I make this easier? What can I do to make this better? Let us know in the comments below if you have anything that can make life, more specifically cycling, easier. Last thing before I jump into things, be sure to check out the next video as I go to Alify. Some exciting stuff there. If this is your first time here, thanks for stopping by. We ride epic mountain bike trails, give training tips, do bike-related product reviews, record elite cross-country mountain bike races, as well as other cool biking stuff. The best way not to miss a thing is to click the subscribe button, click the bell. That will ensure you don't miss any new content. This week's shout out goes to Global Mountain Bike Network. They cover all types of cycling topics. I will have a link to their YouTube channel in the description below.
Up first, bike lights, and this is not in any particular order. I use the Night Rider lights and have used this same set for 4 years. The front light, as you can see here, is the Night Rider Lumina 750, and it lights up where you're going very well. It has 3 different brightnesses and also has a strobe setting so others can spot you easily on the road. I have used this in the winter and the battery life is long enough for those longer rides. The rear light is a Night Rider Solus 40. And I chose this one specifically because the first setting is a very bright, eye-catching flash. To be able to see at night and to have people see you definitely makes riding safer. The rear flashing light is even bright during the day, so I use it when I'm riding on the road. Another great thing about Night Rider lights, the mounts are lifetime guaranteed, so if one wears out and breaks, they will send you a new one at no charge. I have only had to replace one of them in 4 years, and it was because it was the tail light one, and I switched it from what bike it was on often. The only other thing I would recommend is having a top light on your helmet. That way you can see where you are looking. Tire pressure gauges. Get yourself a nice set of pressure gauges. If you're like me, you'll want one that you can use for normal road, gravel, and mountain bikes, and you'll also want to get a low pressure one that you can use for your fat bike. The higher gauges are very hard to get dialed in on the low pressure fat bike tires. I've done some good groomed trails, and many times I've had to lower my pressure, and then when I bump into other riders, they ask me what pressure I'm running, and then it's nice to have the gauge so they can get their tires dialed in as well. I know my pump is accurate with the higher pressure tires, but I still can't carry that big pump on rides. Conditions change, and it's nice to have something that will get you an accurate reading. The Boonton glove dryer. If you spend any time riding your bike where you sweat, where you get wet, or you ride in the cold, you will want to get one of these magic contraptions. Not only does it dry your socks, shoes, gloves, boots, and hats, but it prevents them from getting that super stink that clothes get when you work out in them and they don't get dried or cleaned right away. Grab one of these, you will thank me. This has been a lifesaver for the next product I'm going to show you. Battery-powered heated socks. If you ride in a cold climate like we do in Michigan for 4 to 5 months and you have cold feet issues, a pair of these is a lifesaver. You can skip the chemical packs, you can skip the huge boots, and you can turn these hotties on and your feet stay warm for around 3 hours on high, and medium and low can last up to 7 hours. The problem with the socks is that you can't put them in the washer and dryer. They need to be hand washed because they have wires and a heating element in them that will wear out pretty fast if you clean them that way. This is where the dryer that I just showed you cuts down on the time that you need to hand wash these guys. As soon as you get back home, stick them on the dryer and keep them smelling fresh. I would get cold toes on most rides under 44 degrees Fahrenheit, and with these socks I can ride longer and build up my base during the cold months, when I'm supposed to, without losing my toes to frostbite. A bike computer can make your bike life better. You need a bike computer, and it's nice to have a GPS one so that you can just slap it on whatever bike you're going out on. I chose the Garmin 520 based on what people said about it, and it has done a good job of tracking. The battery life is really good, and the display can be set up to see what you want while you're riding. I was using my phone before this, and I think the phone actually tracked things better, but I was tired of stopping to get my phone out to see how long it had been, how fast I was averaging. The Garmin does have some minor issues with accurate mileage and elevation. My mileage has been pretty close, but my elevation is always on the low end. I'm not 100% sure why this has been. Overall, I would buy from Garmin again because the positives Chris Farley outweigh the negatives. AandD Ointment. If you ride a lot and far, sitting on that saddle for hours a day, then you may want to invest in some AandD Ointment. When someone first told me to use it after a long ride because I had some chafing, it seemed like it would take a week to recover from. I was amazed at the next day that everything seemed like it was fixed overnight. It's like a miracle rub. I have since then recommended it to many others who can't believe how well it fixes your ass. The heart rate monitor. You can get watches and monitors that can do an okay job of getting your heart rate by using the wrist. But let's be real here. When you ride a mountain bike, your arms are taking on a lot of jarring and vibration. The wrist reading does not look so good. I recommend you get a chest strap monitor like this Garmin one. You can change the size easily, it's very comfortable, and I don't realize it's on when I'm wearing it. The computer part of it detaches so you can easily throw it in the wash. A waterproof jacket can enhance your bike life. Who has not been out on a ride where the weather was iffy and you chose not to wear a jacket and not to bring a jacket, and then the rain came? I know I have, and that is why I bought this very light, very compact jacket that is breathable and keeps you dry from the rain and mud.
Wet. These are wet. Jersey is back.
A multi-tool could save your bike life. If you do not have a multi-tool, you just need to buy one. Just like the jacket, you can carry this with you on every ride just in case you may end up needing it. It's way better than carrying each of these individual tools on it. Great gloves. If you ride in the winter and you don't like bar mitts like myself, then you need to get a good pair of winter gloves. I found these gloves for less than $20, and I bought a second pair in the spring for less than $10. I have not had another glove, 5-finger glove, keep my fingers this warm during freezing temperatures. They also dry out better than other gloves that I have tried on our heater, so they stay cleaner and smelling better. Mittens do keep my hands warmer, but they're very hard to use the brakes with. I found these at Dunham's. Pick up an insulated water bottle, or two. If you ride in the heat or in the cold, these are a great idea. They keep your fluids colder in the summer, provided you start with them cold, and in the winter it takes them longer to freeze than a regular bottle. I would also avoid the hydration pack in the winter unless you're good at blowing the drink back into the bag after each sip. That one time you forget to do it, that is the end of your hydration. The pack is great for racing. I know a lot of elite racers don't use the packs, but I find it an easy way to get my hydration when I want it. It also keeps the fluid in the pack cooler on warm days, so it does serve some purposes. Last but not least, you'll need an app to track and record your activities so you can keep up on what you are doing and what you have done in the past. It's very nice to be able to look back at the training you've done and gauge how well it worked for you. It allows you to make changes so that you can get better. Track and record your speed, power, heart rate, mileage, elevation, as well as other things. I use Strava just because most people use it. I also use Garmin Connect and Training Peaks. I wish they would go back to the chronological order on the feed. It's quite annoying having to search for people that you know just rode, and you have to go past a whole bunch of people that rode yesterday. Strava also tracks your PRs. This is a nice feature to look at if you do race. You can see how much faster you're getting and how close you are to being the king of the mountain.
Let me know what you think in the comments below. What is your favorite thing from the list? What would you add to the list? Be sure to check out the next video as I shred Alify mountain bike trails at the Alify State Park in Florida. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss out on a video. Watch some other videos just by clicking on them. Thanks for watching.